Hola Scorpio. Listen, I've been already checking your chart, Scorpio. This is such a plutonic month for you. So much things happening regarding your 12th house. And you know, this is normal, man. This is the moment before we get in your season. I mean, by the way, for the young, like the first Scorpions there, happy birthday. Because I know for some of you it's already there. So much going on in this house. It's normal. Like, listen, this is all your impulse, your instinct, your drive is going into your subconscious, Scorpio, during this month. And this is what happens just before your season, just before you have a rebirth and you start a new year. And I think that this is definitely gonna be, of course, everybody could say, man, you get to your birthday and, you rethink about things of the past, you get more emotional, more sensitive, you probably maybe start seeing your family more than often. And definitely you, I think that some things here regarding your family had been very influential throughout the whole year, and now it might be there are some important chapters that are coming to fruition throughout this season. This month of October is the retreat, and then the impulsion of action, the surrender and the restart comes in November for you, and you know this. So to get specific and starting by the beginning, because I start and I get lost into this stuff, and I'm gonna try to make it as clear as I can for you from my perspective, of course. Mars, which is one of your planets, a part of Pluto, is conjuncting to the Sun and Mercury, who is still in retrograde, together with a new moon that it's gonna be present today on the 6th of this month of October. And your 12th house is this house that talks about your subconscious, things that had been in the back of your mind, Scorpio. It's the hidden wall, it's the occult, it's you. Because even though you represent the 8th house and not the 12th house, the 12th house is Pisces, but this is a very watery house. So it's an intense house that for many or most of signs, it doesn't feel like the most... I can't fucking believe it, man. I'm getting here. My gosh. Man, Scorpio, this is gonna be intense. But I think you'd like it. The Death card with the Sun. If you don't know this, but I think you know this already, this is your card. Scorpio. Wow. I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry. It's just, I love when these things happen. Because this is exactly what I was like. It's like looking at your chart and like what I was feeling and intuitively, like what I can perceive from you. You are in the process. And you have been in a long process of transformation, Scorpio. And this is clear. This is also something that you needed and you wanted, and you are very aware that still you are in that process. This is not something that maybe yet happened, but it's almost like it already happened. Man, these two cards are coming in your past, but these things can be relative, so we might be talking more about your present, past, maybe future in a way, but because it's coming with the sun, man. I mean, this is the plutonic. I mean, man, it's insane. Like, everything that you change, that you quit, that you transform, that you left where it had to be led, because you are allowing the sun to come to you, Scorpio. A new sense of vitality that I think that for a very long time maybe you were not really feeling. Not at this level. I think that you come from a very good period regarding some sectors of your life. But I mean, man, this has been a very difficult year for everybody in a way, and it's gonna be probably like this even next year. But this is the moment of restructurizing everything that was fixed. And I'm connecting here with a Scorpio that already had done this change, but you are very aware that still you're just in the beginning of the road. Super strong scorpionic energy here. I mean, it couldn't not be, otherwise. Because this is, it's like when Mars, the Sun, and Mercury are conjuncted, what it means. And having a new moon on the 6th, man, and I'm gonna publish this on the 6th. It's like you're wanting to dive deep in things that were even hidden from you, Scorpio. Because you want to heal and you want to prepare yourself from like when the sun enters in your sign. It's like for a Scorpio right now, the past doesn't have place anymore. And this could not simply be, I mean, it's not just about maybe relationships or work or, no, man, this is deep. This is about you. This is about you and how you see yourself. What are your desires and what are being the things that it's almost like you're diving in this hidden world that you are so well in tune. No? I mean, you're always in tune with this occult world and, with your laser eyes. Scorpio, you are the sign that is the most capable of seeing things without needing a proof. But definitely this month, it's like your intuition, it's at its highest point. Man, wow, Scorpio, I mean, there is an action here, a move, a direction. It's almost like this vitality, this instinct that is being revived throughout this month. It's just that, and most surely coming with this energy here, even though I think that maybe you have been working a lot, maybe you have been very active at your work or in your connections throughout this last period, and maybe still right now, I think that all this action, or this vitality, all this energy that you are experiencing throughout this month, you actually want to take it somewhere else. You want to take it somewhere where maybe you can secretly explore this world that until now was still even kept hidden from you. It's like maybe having some time of isolation, of retreat, where you can explore all these things. Maybe this new adventure that is like, that whatever this is, if it's a relationship or if it's a work or a vocation you have right now that you really want to do, I mean, I have no doubt that this Scorpio who is watching this video right now knows very well that this is exactly what you want right now. I mean, having the sun here, this is like, it's so clear. It's so obvious to you now. And I gotta say, I think that this is gonna be also very liberating. Now, the only thing, because Mercury is still in retrograde, Scorpio. So even though you have all this impulse and this passion and this desire, man, like, I mean, your libido, I mean, for a Scorpio, this is something that generally you are always up to, even if you don't show it always. Throughout this period, it's gonna be quite strong. But it's just that maybe this is something that you only express while being alone or doing things that you enjoy just by being by yourself. As I'm getting these cards, Scorpio. It's like maybe even dreams that you have. You know, it's like this subconscious that is so awakened for you during this period. It's almost like things, information, is coming back to you. Maybe even information or situations from the past. Because that's where Mercury retrograde does in this house. And where your planet Pluto is in your third house, which is also a house of information, communication. So thinking, like Mercury. So it's like you are a lot in your mind as well. It's like you are so connected to this underworld right now that it's your world. It's you, Scorpio. It's like being you. And doing all these things that maybe in a past experience, maybe you come from a period where you needed to close a chapter in your life. Maybe regarding a relationship, or maybe something that you were doing at your work, or where you were living at. Maybe you're in a moment where you had to maybe change of location, or you're planning on going to live somewhere else. Okay? And this has been an important decision. Because it didn't mean just taking a move, or maybe I think that maybe if you experience a relationship that you had to kind of put an end to, this is something that it took you a while to go through, Scorpio. Because, you know, this is an energy that takes its fucking time. But at the same time, I think the consequences of this change was inevitable, you know, like, and with a lot of consequences for the good as for the bad. This is exactly what is bringing you all this light, all this vitality back. Man, Scorpio. Man, you know what? I knew that for this reading your card was gonna come out. What is coming in your obstacle? The thinking, that idea that you have in the back of your mind, and you feel that in some moments it's like you want to take action, but you feel in some moments it's almost like the expression, it's not yet there. Ace of Swords in the obstacle, Scorpio. And that thinking, that right now it's like you have taken all the action to have this new beginning. I mean, man, I have no doubt of this. I mean, if this is not resonating with you or your personal story, click for the next video, okay? But you know, I need to read the cards as I feel them, and I also look at the astrology and I see what this is guiding me into. And if it really doesn't resonate with your story, don't push it. You know when this is something that is kind of like resonating with you. So, you know, Take it as is best for you, Scorpio. So what we have here is like you have taken all the moves, and I see you like very strong going or moving forward to this direction that you are so passionate about, Scorpio, while being this Knight of Wands. It's like you wanting to rush into the fucking sun here, like so like driven by this, no? So driven by this starting a new life. You want to start a new life, and you did already. I think you did already, but it's like you are just taking the steps, no? Doing this, then that, maybe needing to take a move. Now, regarding this change, I think that the mainly like what is coming as an obstacle for you right now is the way you're perceiving maybe something here. It's like this Ace of Swords. It's like that idea, your thinking, your mind. And this is one of the things that you need to be the most careful with. As you are in a Scorpio, you know this. Your mind is so strong, and you can manifest anything you want. But Scorpio, you know very well that it's like if your mind goes into a negative side, what you might manifest will be exactly what you had been thinking of, no? Which is that thing that you actually don't want. But just because of your thinking, that's exactly what you might be attracting. And as the same as you can just think of those things that you really want, or that idea that you really desire here, or that you want to explore. And I think that is, I gotta say, I really think there's something here about your mind, or in the way you maybe perceive a situation with your mind. It's kind of a problem. Because, you know, the Ace of Swords might represent a truth that needs to be spoken, Scorpio. Maybe this is something that you want to say to somebody, or maybe this is something that you expect from someone, or maybe just simply in the way that you, like you researching a truth, a very important truth that might mean a cat clean for your own life right now. I mean, you know, when we get a sword, the swords are meant to cut what is unnecessary. And it could be that still right now, while you are going through all this change and you have taken here some really huge decisions that are transforming your life, really, still you are in the process of cutting off. And I don't think that this is mentally easy for you right now. And I think it's still like throughout this month of October, even though you feel all this energy and you are taking action and you're moving and you are in your horse going fast here, because it's like, you know, that you also need some time to rest, because this feels tired. Man, this change, it has mean a lot of things. I mean, it's almost like this change, it's not just touching one aspect of your life, this is touching many aspects of your life, Scorpio. You have a 10 of Wands here. A 10. An obvious arrival is like you know that you are arriving to the end of something. That, to be honest, it might be something quite definitive for you. Maybe that career, that job, that until now you put all your efforts into doing this, you saw what this could bring you at a certain moment. Maybe you already got your payoff, or but you know that still might be a little step to take. Like, I think that throughout these months you are still working here into something that you are at. It's almost like you are almost at the point of finishing this cycle, like finishing this job. I mean, not to forget, by the 20th of this month, we're gonna have a full moon in Aries, where Chiron is as well, in the 6th house. While this is opposing your 12th house, Libra, where all this conjunction is happening. So just to imagine this, you have your 12th house of your subconscious, where all these things are happening. Mercury, Mars conjuncted to the Sun, and a new moon. And then a full moon in Aries just before we start your season, that it's putting a light, a closure into a situation that maybe has to do regarding your work. And it's kind of this, all these planets are almost like doing this opposition to this full moon. So I think it's almost like this close-up is something that has been maybe in some moments, and is still right now, it might feel like a burnout to you. Because maybe this is something that you have been doing already for a long time. And this is why it has such a huge consequences, Scorpio. Like, even maybe regarding your mental health. Something that maybe you are realizing here that you want to take care of regarding your mental health. Maybe you are thinking or exploring situations of the past that made you realize some patterns you have in behavior, in the way you relate to people, in the way you relate to your family, in the way you relate to your work and what you like to do, and seeing what all these maybe patterns from the past have created in your life, and knowing now that this is something that maybe you don't want to do anymore, that you want to heal, and you being active here and being allowing yourself to be active, to surrender to this. No, the first thing to do is to recognize this, then you take the action, and then you can surrender. And once you surrender to whatever this is, what you have to let go. And I think that this is like where it's like you're guiding yourself, no? Because knowing that there is something here that's coming, that it means so much more. So much more. I gotta say, it feels really intense, this energy. And I think that in some moments you are very tired here. But you know that this is the end. Because it's like you're already seeing what is awaiting for you at the other side of the door, Scorpio. It's like this change, no matter how hard it seems now, I think that you're doing this in a way like with joy, even though the tiredness, even though maybe the stress, the burnout that you having to deal maybe with many people regarding this situation or this change, and you are like, man, I just want some time here for myself to take care of this. But at the same time, it's like I feel like you are like, it's almost I feel you're like being awakened this month, Scorpio. Like really, man, you're being awakened about something that I think you knew already for a while. And I think that this new moon, 3 of coins, as you're coming consciously in the reading. something that you are highly engaged to. 3 of Wands. You have 3 one on top of each other. And this is something that you were waiting for quite a long time. Or somebody here was waiting for a long time, Scorpio. You have something here that you are building. 3 of Coins. You are starting something here. You did already. But you're like in the beginning of building it. Making the basis of the structure so that this can grow later on. It might be, the 3 of Coins. Maybe you're engaging yourself with a new group of people, or doing something here that is like you are committed to, and it has maybe something to do with your finances. Venus, that it's still right now is in your sign. So, Venus has been kissing you in a very nice way, even though I think in some moments has feel a little bit maybe overly intense, but for the good. Venus right now, it's finally moving forward, and while it's starting to leave your sign, it's gonna move to Sag, which is your second house of finances, values, talent, skills. And this is definitely something that you do with your hands, that you do materially, that you do practically, no? Something that is quite physical, that has something to do with maybe an abundance that you're starting to build, no? Maybe a new contract or something that you are associated to, that you know that this is something that you really like doing and that you could do for some time, even though right now you only see maybe the basis of what it could be. This is something that is like you were waiting, or a situation here, Scorpio, maybe regarding your career. You know that this end was there already for a while, but it's almost like you were in the final line to finish this. And what you knew that was in your environment with these 3 of Wands is like something here is coming new in the horizon. And this is exactly what it's like where you're moving forward. Something maybe that you saw coming already for a while. And having all this activation in your subconscious, you're more intuitive than ever right now. It's like, it's like this is a month for you, Scorpio, where you are able to see the unseen forces. And all these things, whatever, if we're talking about a relationship in your life, or that precise creative project, or, this thing that you want to start here, or this life that you're starting to build out right now, I feel like this is something that you saw coming already for a while. And it's almost like what you feel is that now is starting to be the moment to take action. Or that things are simply in general. It's like you feel that things are moving forward in the direction that you wanted. What is coming in the hopes and fears for the Scorpio? What is coming in the hopes and fears for the Scorpio? Venus in the second house definitely is gonna bring you something good. also regarding your talents and your skills. I mean, Venus is a very plastic planet in that sense, because it's like something here is almost like you want to do more. Maybe you have that specific skill or talent, you know, that you really like doing, and now you can do more and you want to engage yourself in this thing, you know, because this is really what it kind of like, what it fires you up. And then you're a Scorpio, you don't have medium points. And Scorpios, whatever you want to do is like whatever you do in your life or whatever people you engage with is like yes or no, no? It's like this vibe of like, or you're fully in or you're full out, you know? It's like you know that, you know, you have this thing where it's quite extreme. The Hermit coming in your hopes and your fears. This retreat, maybe this time off, because man, I feel that maybe whatever you want to do here or what you're exploring that I think is very new to you, it might be that you will need some time off for yourself, Scorpio. Like you wanting to be in some moments solo, maybe isolated for some time, or maybe this is what you have been like feeling throughout this last period or just this week, like having this time for yourself to dive deeper in all this stuff. And when I was saying about the patterns, situations, maybe behaviors that were keeping you chained to something that right now is no longer working for you, and that you probably knew that this is something that was already there for a long time, like, and that to go through this process it takes time, Scorpio, even though you want to go fast. Because I'm connecting here with a Scorpio that regarding this thing that you are trying to, it's almost like diving deep into this, you know, thing that maybe even has been quite secret, or you are even wanting in a way to explore some secrets about your life, maybe even about your family, about having this important communication or conversations about your past, for example, you know, where you see that these conversations could help you out to clean up maybe this karma or past experiences that had a strong weight on you, and that now you're like, man, I see this, I need to go completely into it so I can really have a new start, because I don't want to get stuck in this anymore, you know? Like, wow, Scorpio. When you have the Hermit coming in your hopes and your fears, and this is the rest. Mentally, you're exhausted right now. You're full action, you're taking care of everything, you're doing all the changes, and it's like I'm looking here at the Scorpio that is in action mode. But something here is like mentally, you know, you need a time to rest before you can have this rebirth that I think you have been waiting for this for a long time. I mean, man, this is something that you knew already, like you intuitively you knew that this was gonna happen, or you had a clarity in the past about the situation that this is what it was gonna be, no matter the consequences, no matter how hard maybe the situation was going to be. But right now it's like, you know that it's like your horse is taking you to another direction, and now it's like you know where your sun is. And going through this energy and throughout this month, it's normal that you will need that time by yourself, man. And you know what? If this is happening to you right now, take that time off. If you want to take maybe a short trip, maybe you want to go somewhere with this night, like these Knight of Wands here, and having this Three of Wands in the environment. Maybe you want to explore or go, maybe if it's just for a short trip by yourself. I don't think that this is something that you're doing with other people. I think that this is something that you're doing just by yourself, because you're healing here from something that you had to let go. Something that hasn't been easy to let go, and still the sword, it feels heavy, because it's like you did, but still there are some things that mentally you're struggling to kind of clean up your head about the situation, like cleaning your head, cleaning your mind, desintoxicating your thoughts. Scorpio, you know, it's like this energy, I see this, and it feels so well what I've been feeling. I mean, emotionally, man, coming from this change, this kind of change. But I mean, I don't think I'm telling you anything that you don't know. Because, man, if there is someone in the zodiac that can better understand these things, it's you. You know how is the process of this kind of transformation. Because when a Scorpio decides, I mean, you're a fixed sign, so yeah, you are changed, but you are still not fixed. So even though you like, or you are in process of constant changing, there is always a part of you that when you get engaged in situations, or maybe relationships, or maybe at that project or that work that you did for quite some time, it's difficult for you when things come to an end, Scorpio, because they touch you so much, they influence you so much, that whenever this ends comes, it's like this huge thing where you don't see yourself anymore. You don't see, maybe you try to, or you know that this has even more consequences than just maybe leaving that job or stopping that relationship. You know, it's like, and I feel like I need to tell this as well, Scorpio, because I really think that your mind right now, or throughout this mind, it feels a little bit shaky. Maybe there is something here that you would like to express, but maybe you know that it still is not yet the time to express this, or to take maybe this final maybe, you know, this Ace of Swords could mean definitely like a message, or having that important conversation. And this is exactly what you see as the obstacle, no? Maybe you know that right now it might be not yet the right time for this conversation, that this is something that you still need to kind of think about. And you know what? By the end of October, so, okay, now you are in this mode. And you might be, even if this is something that you want, I think that you are also a little bit in contradiction about this energy, because you know that you need a rest. You know that maybe you need this solo time, like say isolate yourself, go into the caverns, or maybe just take that trip or go into nature by yourself to clean up, and detox of all this situation. And rivet is almost like recuperate yourself, revive yourself here. It's like coming back from the fucking death. I feel that this is something like regarding this idea you have here, or this conversation that you want to have, that I think this is still something that you're waiting for. You need to have this time off. And the hermit is coming in your hopes, but it's also part of your fears. So I think that you're kind of even scared of feeling maybe alone, even though maybe this is what you want. I feel like in some moments you're a little bit scared of this distancing, or maybe this taking this time off, going into that cavern where you might be confronted to those shadows, Scorpio. Even if it's that what you want, it feels very uncomfortable, because even though, even you, that you're the sign that loves, you're so much into psychology and this depth and these deep feelings, and like this is something that you like to do at a general basis and you're very good at. I think that what you're doing right now it's on another level, Scorpio, because it's like preparing yourself for something quite new that probably you had never did before. And no matter what level we're talking here, maybe at that job that you want to start, or that vocation that you are like, I want to do this now, this is really my wish fulfillment, even though it might be risky. The Knight of Wands, he knows that there are some risks on the table regarding this direction. And I see that this is maybe why you feel that at right now, even though it's so clear the direction you want to take, it feels heavy. Because I think that this decision, it's quite definitive for some aspects of your life. And this is why maybe you need this time off. And to be honest, man, don't be scared to take that time off. Because I really feel like while all this energy, the 6, when there is gonna be this new moon in Libra, and Libra, as I said, is that subconscious. It's like you are gonna be like driven to go there. Even though it might look scary, it's like taking that unknown road, but this time being much more wiser. Because, I think that there are some schemes that you have learned regarding some past relationships. And that's all about Libra, even though it's your subconscious, Scorpio. This Libra energy is a lot associated to those relationships and how these relationships have influenced that unconscious or subconscious. The difference is really right now. This is not as what you did in the past. Like, even if in the past you had already experienced this, of course, maybe that breakup or that leaving or going changing of place, or having to let go some people of your life, maybe, if that's the case. This time it feels different to you, because I feel that what you're doing right now, it's in a way much more mature, because I think you have earned so much from this situation. You have here so much knowledge, and you are processing in learning a lot more, you know, because the Hermit is also that research. Is that you are researching here something, researching all the secrets, all these things that were kept hidden from you, or that you could have hidden from yourself, you know. And I promise you, in the moment, maybe you take this short trip and this solo time, and you can process all these thoughts, and maybe this important decision you want to have, or maybe this important conversation you want to have about this change, about changing a situation here for the good, Scorpio. The vitality that is gonna come to you once the sun enters in your sign and Mars in your sign by the 24th. Some really unexpected results here, Scorpio. That really, man, I think that this is something like, in a way, you knew so much. It's like you know so much, and you knew that this is something that it was in some way or another was gonna happen. But I think that you don't even can expect what this is bringing you, man, right now. You know, just take your time, okay? Just take that time and enjoy that time by yourself if this is something that you really need. And maybe throughout that isolation, this clarity would come to you in a way that, you know, it's like it's gonna allow you to feel much more rested again. You know, it's like your mind coming back to rest mode. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the reading, Scorpios. Man, nice, Scorpios. I hope you get ready for your season, and I'm gonna see you next month. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.